the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of The Boxing Voice. We have a very, very special guest in the building. Well, not in the building, on the phone. Cassius Chaney. How's it going today, man?
Good, man. I'm just, just chilling with my brothers and playing some video games, just relaxing right now. Excited for the fights this weekend and next weekend.
Yeah, me too, man. Now, for people who don't know, can you explain, you know what I'm saying, your weight class, your background? Well, let's start with your background first. Like, I see that you grew up in Baltimore, right? Can you speak on how early life was in Baltimore?
It was cool, I mean, it was rough, of course, but I had a strong family behind me, and my neighborhood was pretty tough growing up in, but like most Baltimore success stories, man, we find a way to pull through and get through the things that make things difficult, so from that standpoint alone, it's something that means a lot to me, just to be able to come from that and make successes, make a successful journey of this boxing and throughout my lifetime period.
Yeah, talking about being successful. Now I see, even before you even thought about boxing, you was a pretty good basketball player too, huh?
Yeah, I was all right. Yeah,
you was all right. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah. Don't be so modest now.
Yeah, I was decent. It was I played, high school, college, and
Where'd you go to college at for those who don't know?
I went to the University of New Haven, and I played 4 years there on a full scholarship, and I had some good, some good games there. I had some cool games.
Yeah, I see. You had a little bit more than just some cool games. If my research is right, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. How did you find boxing?
I don't know. One day I was my senior year. Unless I was dreaming, but I believe my senior year I was in my room and it had a replay of Lennox Lewis fight. I think he was fighting Ray Mercer, and it was on ESPN Classic. And I started joking about the fact that I could do it. I never pursued it when I was in college or anything because I never met anybody that did it. And then right after school, I went into the boxing gym and I was like, man, I'm gonna do this. Here at Wayland City Boxing in London, and I just stuck with it. And I'm just steady. Just I feel like I'm steady, getting better and improving, and that's all that counts.
Absolutely. Now I've seen you said that Lennox Lewis, Bernard Hopkins, and Muhammad Ali was some of your inspiration, for boxing. Can you go into a little bit more detail on why those chose those guys?
I just think one, in my opinion, of course Ali, man, he just for what he stood for at the time, and just his just boxing intellect, and just how special he was. He did stuff that people would never have thought about, like the rope a dope, things like that. I mean, he sacrificed his whole body, period, and, that's just special, in itself. But, Lennox Lewis, I got to put him up there 1A, 1B as far as heavyweights with Ali, just because of his talent, you know what I mean? Lennox Lewis was just a special type of fighter. And for him to get 2 losses and avenge both of those losses was great, and he got better with time, I think.
Yeah, for him to avenge both of those losses really says something about his character, you know what I'm saying? A person that can get up off the mat after a defeat like that, especially that one he had against I forget his name, but he came back and knocked the guy out the following fight. So Hats off to Lennox Lewis.
Hassan Rahman.
Yes, sir. There you go.
That was crazy, and just the fact of how he did it, and he did it earlier than when he got knocked out. But you know, at the same time too, you know, remember he beat Vitaly Klitschko. And how he beat Vitaly Klitschko was special because Vitaly was already training for Lennox. He already was waiting on his shot to fight Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis' opponent had pulled out last minute, and they put Klitschko in there on the, you know, like a little okie doke, and he still went on and finished and found out a way to win that fight. So
yeah, put that big ass gash over his eye.
He would have made him stop it. Yeah, they stopped it, and then he was going to win that fight. That second half of that fight, he was going to find a way to win, in my opinion. You know, and you know, it would have been tough, but he was going to find a way to win. I think Vitaly didn't have like the experience at the time that Lennox had. Lennox knew how to fight ugly too, and that takes a lot. And then Bernard just a different type of athlete.
Yeah, man, you gotta really appreciate Bernard, man. Not even just like the boxing, just like the smarts that he had behind the scenes, man.
Yeah, just super smart. He's really the only fighter that got Manager of the Year and Boxer of the Year at the same time. You know, just little stuff like that I think what makes him special. And the fact he was still fighting these guys at, you know, damn near 50 years old is crazy. You know, that's crazy. You know, I think, yeah, Bernard and he drops jewels, man. Whenever you see him, he always just dropping knowledge for you. So, you know, you got to pay your respects to him. You got to pay homage.
No, absolutely. Now, after basketball, I see that you linked up with Calvin Ford.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, correct me if I'm right. Calvin Ford, his character on The Wire was Cuddy, right?
Yep.
Cuddy.
Yep. Actually, I want to say he's like 3 different roles, but they got his role from Cuddy mainly, and he's part of like D'Angelo Barksdale. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
So what they did was they took different people's stories and they kind of grouped them together in one. I think there's only like a few characters that is solely that type of character, but his story is Cuddy and D'Angelo.
Yeah. Now, for those of people who don't know, and it's a shame that you don't know, Cuddy character on The Wire was a person that got out of jail and tried to go back to the street life, but he found out that it just wasn't for him. So he did something positive for the community and for the kids and started this boxing program. And the boxing program is still around to this day. And is that the same program that you went through?
Yeah, I started boxing back home, I think last year in September. I started going back home to box, and it just felt, you know, I fit right in, man. You know, I'm from there, and it just feels good just going home, you know, just being able to wake up and where I'm from and go to training. You know, it's a different type of vibe, different type of motivation when you remember all the stuff you went through when you were there, when I was there. So, you know, just being able to start this journey in that gym and they push you to the limit, man. It's just so much that I've learned already, not just about myself, but just every day, you know, just proving them, you know, not proving them wrong, because my first fight with them, the adversity I went through, I think I proved to them, like, yo, he tough, you know what I mean? Like, he gonna try, he gonna do it. So, you know, just the gym itself, man. We got some dog kids in there, some good pros. It's a fun atmosphere.
Now, I see that you've been traveling like around the globe, to be honest with you, and I see that you were sparring partners with Huey Fury and Tyson Fury. Can you let the people know which fights that you were getting those guys ready for, and how the sparring was when you went over there?
Oh, well, when I was over in England, you know, I helped Tyson Fury 2 years ago for Klitschko, and that was a great experience in itself, just being able to be part of that. And I only had like 4 pro fights at the time, And I think technically I gave him some problems, and he always, would give me props, just my strength and my technical, style and everything like that. More of my discipline, but I was still green. And I just came back from helping Huey Fury for Pulev. And, I think that he should fare well in that fight. You know what I mean? He should fare well. It's going to be a tough task getting it done in Bulgaria, but I think he should be ready to do it,
So how do you feel like about the fighters that like wasn't willing to like go to Bulgaria? Because I think Dillian White and Big Baby Miller both had that opportunity, but they didn't want to go to Bulgaria to fight. Would you be willing like to travel to like get you like a mandatory position, or do you feel like the politics like in the home country, in the home area, won't allow you to give a victory on the cards if you don't get a knockout?
Good question, man. I'm gonna be honest. I understand why Dillian White and Big Baby didn't do it, because they're in like $1 million bracket almost now. So if they go over there and lose, they definitely not getting that Joshua fight. And everybody's kind of jockeying for that Joshua fight or that Wilder fight where they can make $3 to $4 or $5 million. So if you go over there for what, 300,000 or 400,000, and you lose when you already in position, then that's going to drop your value down. So I kind of get why they not doing it. And Klitschko knocked Pulev out. That don't mean that Big Baby and Dillian White will. Klitschko is just far more just a different type of athlete and fighter, period. He's one of the greatest too. So I understand why they didn't do it. Huey, on the other hand, he kind of needs this fight in the sense that, he lost to Parker in his backyard. So this fight could possibly really put him back on the mat, period, if he's able to go over there and upset Pulev. But like I said, it's going to be a tough task, but I do think he can figure some things out and possibly get it done.
Absolutely. So you're 13-0 with 7 KOs. Like, where do you see yourself in the heavyweight landscape? This weekend we got Adam Koronaki and Charles Martin, and we got Huey Fury, we got Joseph Parker, we got Dillian White, we got Big Baby Miller, we got Derek Chisora, who just had a impressive win over Cassius. Like, what do you see yourself in that mix, and how soon can we expect you to like be in with those kind of opponents? Even maybe not those kind of opponents, maybe somebody like a Gerald Washington or like an Andy Ruiz.
I do feel in like a year's time I'm going to be ready, because I think it's coming up on that time where I'm going to be able to box full time. And I think that's the only thing I'm kind of missing, that ability, that support where I can box full time. But
so hold on. Let me stop you right quick. So right now you're not able to box full time. Like, you have another part-time gig too?
Yeah, well, I still work with kids. I mentor kids here in Connecticut, and then when I know I have a fight, I'll go down to Baltimore for about 7 to 8 weeks. I'll stay with my mom and just train and and make it work. You know what I mean? But
let's pause right there real quick. Now I love like stories of people giving back to the community. Can you tell the people like what kind of program it is, or like what exactly that you do to like give back to the kids and like help them out?
Well, the organization is called Family Wise. I've been working with them for about 6 years, 7 years now, and they ask me like, what do I think about this kid or that kid? And most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm saying yes. Unless I can't do it. But, I'll take the kids out, we'll go to the movies, talk, help them with work or help them with home problems. And I come across more like a big brother. I'm not really, I'm not a father, so I really can't come across like a father figure. So I just give them an outlet, man. They can call me, I go get them. We can go to fights. I've had from like 4-year-olds to 17-year-olds, and it's all fun. You know what I mean? Just cool, and they don't act up with me, so I'm always pleased when I find out they're doing well and that type of thing. It's really good for me to do it, you know, and I'm appreciative of Family Wise for allowing me to still, you know, and they understand I'm a boxer, so a lot of the parents support me when I have to go away. So I have to give them respect in that regard too, that they help me out.
Absolutely, man. That's extremely positive, bro. I'm just so happy to hear that people really still value the youth and really still like to give back. But now we got to get back to this boxing. Where do you see yourself in the heavyweight landscape right now? You said you think you'll be ready within a year's time for those kind of opponents. So if there was one fighter that you wanted to fight, I'm not trying to start any beef or anything like that, but is there anybody that you have in mind?
I do feel like there's some guys that can help me. I'm not going to say help me because they're going to say help you. I do feel like there's some guys that can propel me to those championship caliber guys like John Pierre Augustin. I think his record, and I think that's the type of fight that would give me some like more experience and confidence. Like Joey Casamano, I think he has 1 or 2 losses, but Alexis Santos, Niall Kennedy, who else in that? What's the name just lost? What's that guy named? Trevor Bryant just fought him. Well, both of them guys, but Trevor cool. But what's the guy? Brian Vera. Who did Trevor Bryant just fight? Brian Vera? Not Brian Vera. The guy, he does like TV, man. I forget his name. Dang.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know that fight.
Well, West No Fire. I think that'll be an awkward, decent fight. I used to say Daniel March, but I don't even want to fight that guy. You know, it's some good fights out there for me that make sense, that, you know, can just help me confidence wise and just, you know, make me think a little bit, you know what I mean? And like Greg Corbin, I saw some of him. Let me see. I think he's undefeated. George Arias, I think that would be a good fight for me down the line. I know Joel Cotto is a decent fight. Joe Hanks. You know, those are all fights that can kind of gradually move me up just kind of like confidence-wise, but, you know, not to the point where I feel like they got so much experience over me. You know what I mean? Like, they got ring experience in a sense, but I think I have more, like, learning experiences from being around certain camps and, you know, Amir Mansour, being around him, Brian Jennings being around him, even being around Gerald, being around Jung Jalay. I've been around so many guys that I'm just sitting back and I'm just soaking it all in. And all I'm doing is saying, listen, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm not partying, I'm just staying fresh. So when my time comes, I'm ready to hit and keep it running, you know? So that's all I'm ready to do.
Absolutely. Now, I want to get your opinion about some upcoming fights this weekend and next weekend and on down the road. Let's start off with the heavyweights. Adam Koronaki is fighting Charles Martin this weekend. Who you got winning that fight?
You know, I know Charles, man. He brought me to camp before, so I gotta go with dang. Adam, man, he a tough dude, but I don't see Charles going down easy, you know what I mean, at this point. I think he kind of got his mind back right a little bit. We'll see.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you think he got his mind back right enough to, because, I mean, Adam's going to be a very tough opponent, you know what I'm saying? So if Charles Martin don't have his mind right, then I don't think that he's be able to beat Adam Koronaki. Well, what I do like, and I see them bring in Roger Mayweather to help out in his camp, and I think that was a really, really good step in the right direction.
I agree with that. Because I think, Jeff Mayweather. Jeff Mayweather.
Jeff Mayweather. I'm sorry.
He got the personality to kind of not overwhelm Charles, but I think Charles respect. You know, when I hear Jeff Mayweather talk, I never met him, but I always say, like, he seemed like a cool dude. You know what I mean? Where you gonna work hard, but he gonna respect your opinions if you have any. So I will say this: I think it's gonna be a great fight. Adam's gonna be tough, but I think Charles, if his mind is right, he can offset some things. Because you gotta remember, Danny Kelly gave Kalnacki a tough fight because he just held his ground. So I do feel like Charles, if he can hold his ground a little bit, he could do well. You know what I mean? Like I said, if his mind back right to wanting to win and be champion, I think he could get back right. But remember, he ain't have that much experience. So when that Joshua fight came up, that was a fight that almost he kind of got to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, they giving you $5 or $4 million, whatever, and you ain't have that much experience, and you just hit the lottery because you fought Glasgow and he messed his knee up. So he almost was in a position where you can't really say no. You know, so I'm not making excuses for him. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
$5 million.
$5 million. So if his mind back right to where he back to wanting to learn the sport of boxing, I think it would be a good fight. You know what I mean? Because, again, like I said, it's not like he had 10 years boxing experience. Like, Wilder's been pro for 10 years. So,
absolutely.
And he's just starting to get that hot streak. You know what I'm saying? Where you know, people like, hey, this guy's scared of this guy. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
you know, it takes time. It takes time, and hopefully he's right, and it's a good fight that happens.
Okay. So let's drop down to like the lighter weight classes. We got Danny Garcia and Sean Porter this weekend, which in my book I think is going to be a very good fight. And I really can't wait. But what do you got winning, and like how you see it playing out?
Man, yeah, it's tough questions, man. I really don't. I think that's going to be an awesome fight, man. But I'm gonna say really, I love Danny Garcia. He's from Philly. You know, I'm halfway from Philly. But I respect a lot of Sean Porter. I think they possibly can pull it out, and this is why. Danny Garcia now has a loss. Sean Porter has lost, yes. But the fact that Danny Garcia, like Angel Garcia said that stuff, I just think that, you know, it rubs some of the boxing people the wrong way. And I think if Sean Porter can put together some rounds, he can steal this fight. You know what I mean? He could. Whereas before, because his style wasn't pleasing, they might give it to Danny Garcia when he was undefeated. But now that he got a loss, he's sort of vulnerable to anything can happen. You know what I mean? So I do feel like it can be a dynamite fight. I do feel Sean Porter has been getting better as time went on because he's been staying more busy. So it could be a dynamite fight, man. I'm just hoping for a good fight and both guys come out hope.
Absolutely, man. Sure, let's keep it going then. Canelo and Triple G.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I gotta go with Triple G, man, because I like Canelo's style better, but I gotta go with Triple G, and the only reason why I gotta go with him is because he ain't get caught on steroids, you know. So I gotta go with Triple G, man. I gotta feel him that, you know, that first fight was canceled, and he did all that training and stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Triple G on this one. But you know, I'm not a huge fan of Triple G, but I do respect the fact that you know, he kind of manned up and took the fight again, even though he ain't really have to sit around and try it again. So I gotta go with Triple G on this one. And I don't like making predictions, but
I mean, you don't got to.
No. I'm just saying. Usually I don't, but for that I will because Canelo, you know, made that man go through all that training, and then he had to settle the fight, Montessori, man. So I got.
So you weren't buying. So you weren't buying the tainted beef.
Would I buy it?
I'm saying you wasn't buying his story when he said that the reason he tested positive was for tainted beef.
Nah, man. Think about it. These guys got all this money to eat right. First of all, we all know the beef in Mexico or certain countries a lot of times is tainted. If you got millions of dollars, I wouldn't even go there to eat or train. Why I wouldn't even do that. You know what I'm saying? So it just don't make sense to even go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all know that, you know, he gets fatigued, and part of that probably is because of the weight, you know, trying to make the weight. So I guess I get it, but, you know, nah, it ain't some no tainted meat. You got millions of money, man. You can get it. You could bring a cow from America over there, ride it.
Bring a cow from America. I feel you. Hey, I totally feel you, man. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. All right, before we get to these heavyweight fights that I want to get your opinion on, there are a couple of heavyweights overseas that I really want to get your opinion on. Daniel Dubois, and recently Joe Joyce, who is no longer over there. He's training in Big Bear now. How do you see those guys? Like, what do you think about those guys as up-and-coming prospects?
I never really watched Dubois really before. I've seen some stuff on them. You know, I think they cool. You know, I think they, you know, up and coming, just like I'm up and coming. I like Joe Joyce. He has a good motor, but I think he's kind of stiff, and a lot of the guys he fought just go down. They quit. You know, I can't stand watching fights like that. You know, like,
yeah, his last fight with the guy from Boston really kind of disappointed me when I seen the guy just go down like that. So I totally
the white dude or you talking about
the black guy, no, the guy from Boston. Remember the big he like big big nasty something like that.
Donnie Palmer.
Yeah, Donnie Palmer.
Yeah, he used to call me out. Oh, you want to fight and all that, and then he'd do something like that and make me feel like, bruh, you like, come on, man. Come on, you can't be serious. Can't be serious. First of all, you went over there and you was like 300 pounds, so you wasn't even trying to win, and then they paid you 25, 30 grand to just get touched and then lay on the ground, man. Come on, man. Come on. I can't stand that. And then he fought Leroy Thompson, and it only looked like he hit him, and then Leroy Thompson go down. And I must say this, I respect Kenny Porter so much because he trained Sean Porter hard, and I know he trained Leroy Thompson for that fight. But I'm like, he had to be disappointed in that type of, like, just going down like that, man. Like, I can't stand watching stuff like that. I really can't.
Yeah,
and come on, you go all the way over there for the money. Come on, man. I'm not doing that. You can't pay me to go over there and lay down. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta bring this up, bro. I'm glad that I just thought about it because you brought up guys quitting or whatever. How do you feel about Curtis Harper walking out of the ring when he was fighting F.A. and before the fight even started, he just walked out of the ring? Like, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw the highlights of that. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, I just feel like, I don't know why he did it. I heard that he's kind of crazy anyway, and then I heard on. I read
he did an interview like shortly after and said he was being disrespected by the amount of money that he was getting paid.
Yeah. I saw that. Something about it was changed to a TV fight, and I saw something like that. I mean, I don't know. You know, I do know, I did hear that if it's a TV fight, you should get paid more, but I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, he should have just went, shook F.A. hand, and then took a knee. You know, he should have just did a Colin Kaepernick and just took a knee, and then, you know, got counted for 10 and then took the loss. Because you're going to take the loss anyway, and you're about to get suspended for walking out the ring. So, yeah, I think that was just stupid. You know, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I think he just disrespected his coaches, and, you know, I think Nate Campbell's his coach, so, yeah, I wouldn't do it, but I think there's a better way to handle it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that he'll ever fight again?
He should. Honestly, he should fight again. I don't think, hey, look, if you're going to give guys, 10 months for PEDs, Come on, man. You can't suspend him for life. That's wrong.
No. I'm not saying suspended for life, but will the promoter be willing to bring him on the card, knowing that he has a past of walking out of the ring, not even.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I think some promoter will. Maybe not a big time promoter, but there's some promoter that will. And it depends who he train with.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. And it depends who he decides to train. And it depends who he decides to train with. Like, if Nate Campbell puts in a good word for him, like, yo, he's back, his mind's right, he wants this fight, he'll get a shot again. He'll get a shot again. But I won't believe it's real, right? If he comes back and he fights FA and the FA touch him with a jab and then he go down for knockout, I'll be done. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't think FA is going to be in his cards again. But now, speaking of promoters, how did you get hooked up with Main Event?
I met with him. You know, I knew the history of them as far as heavyweights, and I know they had Lennox for the tail end of his career. They had Holyfield, they had Bo, Salada, and I just felt like as a heavyweight, this is where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? They just know how to move them. They know how to, what to put in front of them. And I think they're open to, if you have an idea of somebody you want to fight. And I think they're open to that type of stuff. And I'm appreciative of them because, like, I didn't have any, they never saw me fight before they signed me. You know, they just kind of.
Whoa. They never saw you fight before they signed you. Maybe sparring? Sparring?
Nope.
They never seen you in gloves before they signed you.
Nope. They just heard and kind of, I think I had done a few camps. I was still amateur, so they, I had did a spar with Jalay, and I sparred with Mansour like a year before. So I was kind of a year removed from that, and I think they met me, and I think they just saw my personality, and my knowledge of the stuff I knew about main events and who they had and stuff like that, and my youth, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm fairly, even though I'm 31, I understand that I'm kind of like immature for, I'm still growing, as a person, mentally, physically. I know I'm behind a little bit, but I think they saw that type of stuff, and I think they say, you know what, we're going to see. They got me a fight. The fight ended up getting canceled, and I was a little upset about it. But they asked me if I would go in the ring and talk to the fans, and I did it. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of like, all right, well, we definitely have somebody that's marketable. You know what I mean? So, and then from there, it just, it's been up and downs, of course, for certain things, certain issues. But I think for the long haul, they're going to do right by me, and I'm gonna make them, I'm gonna make them proud for sure.
Absolutely, and you definitely picked a good promoter to be with because they have a great thing going with HBO. So that's a good spot to be at. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to the big fights. Anthony Joshua versus AJ Povetkin. How do you see that fight going?
That's interesting. I think that's a really, really interesting fight because Povetkin has been through the fire with Klitschko, and Klitschko, man, he's great, man, for real. So I gotta be in a.
That should make you feel like even better because you have trained the guy that eventually stops his 10-year run.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Right after that, Klitschko called me to spar with him instead of going with Tyson Fury. They was going to pay me a little bit more to go help Klitschko, maybe just be in the camp, than to go help Fury. So that was actually cool just to get a call like, yo, come help us instead of helping him. Because I went out there and I had the less fights out of everybody, but I ended up being the top sparring partner for Tyson. So, you know, that ended up being cool. You know what I mean? And yeah, just having that experience, but knowing that I can kind of, you know, simulate things or mix things up, it made it more appealing. But I guess the AJ fight, I'm gonna go with AJ on this one. I'm gonna go with AJ, and like I said, the reason why is because Rebecca, man, he tested positive a few times, man.
I was going to see if you kept that same energy or not, but you did.
You said what? He kept the what?
Now, I was going to see if you kept that same energy about a guy tested positive like you did with Canelo, but to your credit, you did. You brought it up.
Yeah, I gotta say that, man. I understand where Wilder was coming from with the training and then just Stavern with the training and then going over there and then finding out, man, so much stuff goes into fighters training, and I just feel like, you know, if a fighter's training, you get caught doing it, you know, and you doing it for the fight, that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? You're not even doing it like Peyton Manning was doing it to heal his body. You doing it so you have gains in the actual fight to kill to hurt the person, you know. And
so, what do you feel like should be done though? Like, how can we get these guys out of the sport? Like, how can we clean up the sport? What should be done to people that test positive for PEDs? Should we hold on? Should we do like the baseball rule? The first thing you spending like 50 games, so there'll probably be like 6 months for boxing, and then like the next time is a year. And third time is like lifetime. Should we do that?
I don't know. Let me tell you why I think it's tough to actually like really, really suspend a person, because, well, you should be suspended, period. Especially if you get caught doing it when you got a fight, when you actually preparing for a person. Because, see, baseball, I don't really mind it because it's like, it would probably make the sport more exciting, to be honest.
Hey,
man.
Well, man, you're in the same boat. Back in the 90s when it was all juiced up, I was like, bro, this is the best baseball I ever seen. When they started cleaning it up,
everybody wanted to hit the baseball. Then like it was more. I wanted to play back then, but
I tried to play.
Like, I tried to, but now it's like, come on, man. But like football, you know. Yeah, man, like these guys are taking such a beating to their bodies. I kind of get why in the off season some of them are getting on it, because it's healing their bodies back up. You know what I'm saying? But if you doing it and then you going in the game and you on that juice and you cracking somebody, yeah, that's different, because you really trying, you might end their career. You know what I'm saying? You juiced up, so and you juiced up and you don't care about getting hurt. That's the thing about the steroids in boxing. When you already juiced up, one, you probably not gonna get tired, and two, you don't care about getting hit. Like, you like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna try to go right through it, and that's really like the worst part about it, when you could just kind of, you know, I don't know. I'm not encouraging it, but when you don't got nothing coming up, you know, do whatever you gotta do to heal your body up, man, and then train when you train. You know what I'm saying? Because as fighters, you put so much on your body and you damaging it, like you hurting it every time we train. You know, so if you gonna do it, if you with all that money these guys got, you know, these rich dudes, man, I don't know, just, you know, you do it against me, I'm suing you and like, for real.
I'm suing you and it's like,
yeah, I'm suing them for attempted assault. and I'm not fighting, and I'm getting paid for my training expenses. You know, and
totally. I
understand and emotional distress.
Oh my God. Well, hey, I can't even laugh at this, because you fighters go through hell just in training. So emotionally, physically, that should take a toll on your body and your mind. So I totally understand that. Totally understand.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. They try to get at Peyton Manning for taking stuff when he was out of season, man. Come on with that. That is ridiculous, especially when you look at certain guys, certain athletes, you already know they on something. You know they are, man. Come on, man. I don't want to say no name, but come on, man. Watch some of them NBA games. Watch OKC play.
Whoa. You think some
Watch OKC play, man.
NBA players on steroids, you think?
Come on, man. Come on, man. It's
man,
in sports. I'm just saying, it's in sports, period. The amount of damage that athletes do to their bodies, especially stars, to keep the superstars fresh and healthy, it's only so much treatment you can do. It's only so much. You gotta get something extra to heal your body back. There's so much damage they doing, jumping, running, training.
But when you agree, when you get to another tax bracket, like different shit open up to you that you wouldn't necessarily know about being like in the tech, you feel me?
I mean, stuff that we don't know about, but they know that it's not. But if we took it, if we was to get it at our regular self right now, we would get in trouble for taking it.
Maybe you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on. I'm telling you, come on, man. It's out there. I'm telling you.
I believe you. I totally believe that this is out there. The last fight that I want to get your opinion about, and I didn't even realize it was kind of close to you. Fury and Wilder. Now, before you make your breakdown and your prediction, remember Fury's from the UK and Wilder's from America. And even though you went to the UK and sparred with Fury and got him ready, you still got some kind of state pride, right?
Oh, of course, I'm always gonna go for the American. Plus Tyson Fury, man, he ain't even working with he's not working with Peter Fury no more, man. I got big respect for Peter Fury as a trainer. But I like Tyson, man. He was cool. But
hold on. So this is like my kind of first time like getting some insider information. So you believe him leaving Peter Fury was a bad mistake?
From a discipline standpoint, yes. I think from an emotional happy standpoint, not for some reason, but from an emotional happy standpoint, I think the trainers he's with now bring something back new to him that he can have fun again. You know what I'm saying? Because when you training with Peter Fury, it's really like basically laser. Like you gotta be mentally like serious. You know what I'm saying? And
all big no bullshit.
Tyson not that type of character. Like sometimes in sparring, he would come in and start wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And sparring would be over, and then Peter would be like, "Everybody, y'all go back. Y'all earn y'all earn free money today. Go back to y'all rooms." Like basically, y'all, he don't even feel like sparring today. Wow. So everybody's different in that sense, though. So do
you think after being off 2 years, 2 fights is enough for him to like compete with Wilder, or do you see it like being a wash?
He's gonna be able to compete from the standpoint of what he does well is not really difficult for him to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I fight ugly well sometimes. You know, and Andre Ward, he fights ugly well. You know, Tyson Fury knows how to just move around the ring and buy time. And if that fight goes the distance, I got to be in the draw. You know what I'm saying? Because one guy goes forward good as far as that 1-2. The other guy moves around the ring good and buys time and makes it ugly and, you know, kind of persuades the judges. So if people are used to Deontay knocking people out and getting out boxed for a long period of time in a fight, if he doesn't get the knockout, they're not going to give Tyson Fury a loss for it going the distance. You know what I'm saying? I think they're equally both like liked and disliked by people. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Wilder doesn't have all the American people behind him. Tyson Fury doesn't have all the UK people behind him. It's like an even split down the middle. You know, so if it goes the distance and Fury lasts through these rounds, it's going to be a rematch because in a rematch, more money will be involved because you don't know when Joshua is going to say I'll fight Fury or I'll fight Wilder. So you fight now, if Joshua doesn't want to fight neither one of them, they can have a rematch next year in April, right? When Joshua fights in April or May. That's all. Yeah. So now, if it's a draw, they can have a rematch in April. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be in a draw, to be honest.
Now it's rumored that fight is going to be on Showtime pay-per-view. How many buys do you think it does? Do you think it does over 500,000 or less?
It's going to be about. Won't be that many. I think it'll be because pay-per-view hasn't really been a big pay-per-view fight in a while since like Golovkin and Canelo, right? So,
yeah, I mean Mayweather, McGregor, Golovkin, Canelo.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta take it back. And I gotta get your opinion about this. KSI and Logan Paul did a pay-per-view, and it's rumored that these guys made $150 million off the revenue, off the merchandise, off the advertising, and they split it right down the middle. So, how do you feel about YouTubers coming into the sport and getting these kind of paydays?
You know what's crazy is that I was out in England and somebody told me about it. I'm like, I don't know who that is, who those guys are. And then as I started keeping my ear out for it, more people were talking about it. I don't mind it, I guess. I don't really mind it, but that YouTuber stuff is different. You know what I mean? They have a different type of fan base that people go and buy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, people that bought that fight and watched that fight, they weren't casual boxing fans. They were just fans of them. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And that's a different type of market. You're dealing with, geeks and, YouTubers and people that follow, just want to make their own videos someday. That's just different. And
So my main point about it is, do you think there's anything that fighters can take away from what they did and kind of put it into their game plan as far as marketing or as far as getting yourself out there out to the masses?
Yeah, they can, but it's going to take a different type of personality. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm gonna be honest. It's not that many when you look at the landscape of boxing, it's not that many cool personalities. You know what I'm saying? It's some cool guys. A lot of the fighters are cool, but it's not really those real genuine personalities. There's not that many of them where you're that guy reminds me of Ali, or that guy reminds me of Tyson, a genuine, just a angry guy. He don't even, you know what I'm saying? He don't care what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's only really one guy that has that kind of personality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's Tyson Fury. The guy's charismatic.
Yeah.
Can capture the public either in a good way or a bad way, but he does have that thing about him.
Right. Tyson has it. Tyson has it, and I think his is kind of genuine in the sense that it is what it is. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but this is how I feel. It ain't necessarily I hate you. It's just how I feel about it. And I think when he got shammed in the UK for that stuff he said, he should have left it at, this is just what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Even though some of the stuff he said was just crazy, but
yeah,
I think that's what hurt him. You know what I mean? When you start talking.
What Rick James say? I mean, what they should tell say on the show, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, cocaine is a hell of a drug. When he started, especially when he started saying he did that,
yeah, man, that was crazy.
You basically just smacked yourself in the face. So
I'm just glad that.
I think that's why we got along. You know what I'm saying? We was kind of
Hold on. You got to clear that up, bro. You got to clear that up, bro.
Huh?
You said. I said now you got to clear that up. You can't just say that's
why
we got along.
No, we didn't get along till we.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm just playing with you.
No, I'm just saying personality wise. I think that's why. Yeah, he was cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, man. It was a pleasure, man, having this conversation with you. Can you please tell the fans when we can maybe see you back in the ring, and who maybe your next opponent might be, if you guys have one mapped out yet?
We don't have one mapped out yet, but I'm saying hopefully I'm going to meet with Main Events next week, and hopefully we can get in the ring October 20th, and then maybe look for one of those opponents that I mentioned in November or December. You know, I'm hoping for Jean-Pierre Augustin if he wants to step up, because he was trolling me, and now is about to get real for him, and hopefully he decides to take it. You know, he has 2 junior titles that I think look better on my waist than his. So
Okay.
I think that'll push me up in the rankings a little bit. Like I said, he's 17-1-1, and I know I have only 13 fights. I probably have 14 by the time I fight him. But I think that'd be a good fight, especially local, just to get my career on the upward motion. You know, I really do. So hopefully he steps up to the plate, and you know we can make it happen.
All right, man. Let the fans know where they can follow you at on all social media.
You can follow me at Cassius Chaney Cassius _ Chaney on Instagram, Cassius Chaney on Twitter, and you can follow me on Cassius Chaney on Facebook. I'm using on Facebook, so
absolutely. Alright, hey man, thank you for your time, man. I'm very, very excited to see where your career goes and how well you progress throughout it. And my best wishes and best of luck to you, man. Thank you so much for your time again.
I appreciate it, man. And go Lakers. You know, LeBron about to get that championship.
Hey, I'm a Lakers fan since he got